All right, I'm going to start talking, although we just went live and we got to wait for people to come in. So, for those rewatching this, this is going to be an open live discussion for The Walking Dead. I've been thinking since The Walking Dead, when it's off the air, I was thinking about maintaining a more horror themed, or at least horror specific. Before it was kind of up in the air about what we would talk about. What's up, Ryan? What's up, John? But I'm thinking about keeping it horror specific, so that way when The Walking Dead isn't on, we'll have a baseline, like a focus to stick there. Go with news, even new recent news with what's going on this coming month in horror. Open dialogue and discussions, and then even touch base with things that we got going on with the behind the scenes. Like, for example, with the Flaws and Aws videos, I know we're tapping in with polling, both public and with these supporters, for Patreon supporters and Matt Mob supporters. But also I was thinking about introducing something that's a little more interactive, which I don't know. I've never done this before, so I don't know how well this is going to work out. But you guys can actually put in the comments section of the latest flaw and awe for The Walking Dead 101. Put your flaw and awe for 102, 103, 104. You don't have to do the whole movie. Just one particular moment. I got this idea because I seen someone do this with the walkers. Someone sent me a private message and they said, "Oh, this walker scene and this walker scene, I can't wait to hear your opinion on." Now, because it bothered me as a fan that the zombies could climb, as an example. So I thought, you know what, that's kind of neat. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, good. I muted my mic on OBS and not OBS, this other one, whatever. So I thought that would actually be pretty cool and pretty interactive. You guys could put your own flaws and aws in. When we got a movie in the works, like right now we're picking the next movie flaw and awe for, like I said, we're on track for once. We're like on schedule. We did the poll, started in January, and that's for the February movie flaws and aws. And it's funny because the public poll, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises, that took the lead. It was explosive. But when I did the membership poll for the final pick of all the top finalists, The Dark Knight didn't even get voted on, which was shocking because, like I said, public, it stomped everything. For a lot of titles were close, but for the Dark Knight, it just stomped it out. But for the members, yeah, didn't even get picked. Love you. Ooh, I headbutted you. I headbutted you with my headphones. What's up with this stream? Oh, okay, I see it now. Good night, honey. I'm gonna come out and check on you, so you make sure. Sleep, or one of those. One of those. This back? Bro, I didn't have time to go to Kohl's. I will do it. What does it matter? Get out of my wallet. Oh, man. That's the last $2 I got, bro. Give me that. What my broke ass. All right, get your dog and get out of my office.
I have more money than you.
I know you do. Get going. It's sad. It makes me cry at night. What? I love you too. I'll be out to check on you, so you better go to bed. What? Oh, thank you very much.
I remember when my finger slammed on the car door?
Yeah, ouch. Don't talk about that.
You did it, by the way.
I know I did. I slammed her fingers in the car door. It was a life lesson. You learned something. What do you want from me? All right. Love you too. I'm going to try to put the chat. I'm going to try to put the chat on screen, but that's not going to work. Let me see if I can fiddle with this. Actually, you know what? I can take this. Ooh, I got an idea. Let me take this and that and put this and that. All right, so where was I? Yeah, so for example, we did, and it looks like, and this is, let me try to connect this back with what I was talking about. It looks like the Night of the Living Dead and the Dead series, at this point in time, if you're a Patreon supporter or a member of the Matt Mob, get over there and vote. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the community tab, you're allowed to post pictures and just text, updates and poll updates. So make sure you don't have this channel blocked for that. I know you can choose not to see people's community tabs because that's where we're doing the voting and stuff. But if you're over on Patreon, it's over there. If you're a Map Mob member, it's over here in the thing. Because as it stands right now, unless we get like a whole bunch of people jumped up and just voted out of nowhere, maybe I'll take it into consideration. But the winner is the Dead series. So that's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn, Day, Land, and then we're going to go back and do the remakes. So that's Night of the Living Dead 1990, and that's Dawn of the Dead from 2004. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think that's it. As far as the remakes being, I mean, there's others, but some of them aren't connected. Some of them are just straight trash. And we will be doing Return of the Living Dead, but that is not connected. It's just connected by name and then the producer guy. Anyhow, so let me put the top chat, live chat, and let me go over here, add a source. Can I do a browser source? Does that work? Image browser. What is a browser? Image, slideshow, display, game. Is it a window? I think it's a window capture. Capture a specific window that's open on your computer. Let me do that. Add the source, window capture, chat. The chat. Add source. Window, game bar, Xbox. What? What do you mean Xbox? No. What is this? Pop out. That's not even an option? What are you shitting me? You trying to fight me? Match title, otherwise find window the same. Can I not put select option? Studio YouTube. Studio YouTube. There we go. Oh, that's not it. What's up? Match title, otherwise find window of the same type. Window title must match. Studio Live 9. Okay, that matches. So how come I can't see the chat? Can you guys see the chat on the screen? Wait. I got YouTube up. No, it's just a black box. Damn. I do suck at this. Sorry, guys. I tried. Well, I did what it said. I'll fiddle it one more time, and then we're going to have to just give up. I'll get rid of my overlay, and I'll just put the chat on the screen. Sorry, I suck at life. Let's see. Chat, Chrome. Can it not do... What if I put it over here? Uh-huh. What if I do that? Does that matter? Chrome, Studio. Bam. Done, son. No, that's still black. Wow. What is a multi-adapter compatibility? Capture cursor. I'm sad, chat. I'm sad. Live streaming. Well, you know what? I'll look it up. I don't know. I'm just not good at this. Son of a bitch. All right, let me get rid of the overlay. I'll put the chat on the screen. I'll stop being a boomer. You guys can... You guys can see the chat as it is on the screen. If I do this, boom, bop, bada bing, bop, pow. There it is, overlay, bong. All right, so there's my ugly mug, and there's the chat. Bam. Pow. Webcam. Move this bitch over too. I'll just leave the words Predator right under my webcam. It's fucking great. Predator, a.k.a. Onision. All right, so yeah, I'm sorry it's dark. I'm gonna look it up and see because I did the thingamajigger. Wait a minute, did I not do that right? I thought I did it right, but I thought I saw a putty cat. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, I thought I did it right, but I doubt it. Unless it's not supposed to say Chrome, Google Chrome. See, because it says Studio. No, I got caps. Studio dot. So yeah, like I'm saying, we're going to be doing the Dead series. So for example, you guys, in the most recent movie Flaws and Awes video, that's crucial, because if it's all over the internet, I'm not going to be able to find out where. But if you're a Patreon supporter, you can do it on Patreon. If you're a Matt Mob supporter, do it on the Matt Mob, the only Matt Mob poll. But you can put your thoughts and opinions for what you liked and didn't like throughout the movie. So that way, when it comes to me, maybe you'll catch something, because again, this isn't supposed to be my definitive opinion. I'm taking a lot of what I get from feedback from the different communities online or through interviews or reactions, and then I'm kind of pulling the majority of fans and what they like, their scenes and the scenes that they don't like. I know for The Walking Dead, for example, what was a better example? There's something coming up in one of the Flaw and All movie or videos, and it's something I particularly don't really care for, but I know the fan base loves, like the fandom loves it. So I put it in there anyway, because again, it's not about me, it's about the fan base as a whole. I'm kind of what's the word for it? I'm kind of what's that? It's like the mystery boxes, how they you get what I'm saying, how they curate. I kind of curate the information and then put it in those videos. So no, nothing found there. G and why is that different? And is underscore pop out equals 1. All right, let's try that. Enter. Oh, you whore. Your mother's a whore. That's all I gotta say. Never mind, chat. So let me see what you guys have to say. I totally forgot where my directed intro was gonna go, but I do want to touch base. If you skip the beginning and you're just getting here, I do want to play around with the idea of having the Sunday streams. Now, we're not going to be able to do them all the time, every single Sunday. Coming up, I know there's probably a Sunday or two each month I'm probably going to have to skip. We are playing around with the membership stream, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that, because it was supposed to be one a month, but it's separated between members and then Patreon supporters. But if I do it for one, it'll block the other. So I don't know if I need to split it and do 2 a month. So we're figuring that out. And yes, I am putting the Flaw and Awe videos first and foremost, because I know that's what people are signing up to support. We got another like 2 or 3 people who jumped over to Patreon, and then 2 more that jumped over to the Matt Mob here on YouTube. And that is primarily right now to keep the Flaw and Awe videos consistent. Our goal is 4 a month. If let's say, for example, in February this month, I'm actually changing a long-standing rule on the channel, and I'm going to start accepting sponsorships, which I've never done this before. I've allowed companies to say, we got this cool product, can we send it out, like subscription boxes? We talk about The Walking Dead a lot here, so when they are like, here's a subscription box about Walking Dead stuff, we're like, yeah, whatever, we're going to look at it because we're Walking Dead fans. Chances are we're going to like whatever's in it. But in the future, for certain companies, I'll still let them send a box up because, again, it fits. It just fits. NECA's another company. If they ever were like, oh, yeah, here's, just something to show off that's Predator-wise or whatever it is, if they did Last of Us or Walking Dead, and that's a company I know 9 times out of 10, I'm loving what they're doing. Same thing for Skybound, if ever they want to holler. But certain companies, I'm going to kind of play loose with it and say, you can just send something in. But other companies like mobile game companies and Men's Grooming was another one I signed up with. One of y'all gave me that link too to go up. Not a link, but a message thing to go up. But we're going to open up the sponsorships, and this way we don't have to worry if we're doing a sponsor in every video. We don't have to worry. I already looked at a website that will figure out how much you can charge, and the channel actually has a good monetary value behind it when it comes to sponsors. It's fucking like 3 times higher than I ever realized. So it was a good thing I looked into that. But the idea is once we connect with a sponsor or two, maybe by the end of February, beginning of March, I'll get a good idea of what we got going on, and then we could just focus on the material. I've tried my best to figure it all out math-wise to see how long it would take. And if I was doing the YouTube channel full-time and just grinding, we would be able to do 2 Flaw and Awe videos each week. 1 Walking Dead and 1 movie. So that would be pretty tight. It'd be Walking Dead on Monday and then movie Flaws and Awes every Friday. And again, that would be pretty tight, and once in a while we'd have to take a week or 2 off of doing the movie Flaws and Awes just to play catch up again. But that is our main goal heading into 2020, with that being the primary focus. And then don't forget the Ronnie Hayes channel. We're uploading just random shit over there. We talked about Onision, J-Station. We showed off some figure stuff. I mean, just randomness. I got bored one day and I wanted to make something. I made something and that video is up. I don't know. We talked about The Last of Us. Speaking of which, that company reached out to me, Lim Toys, and it's 1/12 scale. So the same size as NECA, I believe, is 6-inch figures of Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us, and it looks tight. I did a review of the 1/6 scale, and it's not the same company. They wanted me to make sure to drill that. So on my follow-up video, and on this channel, we'll discuss those. I even told them, if you guys ever want someone to show that off and like showcase it, I don't even got to say it, but you don't have to hesitate to ask. Because like I said previously, it'd be no problem. You guys want to review an item, hit me up. If it fits, I'll review it. But moving forward, we're primarily going to focus with sponsors so we can get the channel on stable ground and then push forward. Because it's more than just the channel. It's the channel. There's original content, short films that are coming up behind it once we get stabilized. There's the comic book. There's a horror anthology novel. Like, it's more than just the YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel needs to sustain itself in order to grow the other properties and whatnot. Off air, if you ever need anything for your stream, let me know. I got you. What do you mean by that, homie? Because I'm going to start reaching out to people. I didn't before, because as we're growing and, as we took a huge hit ad-wise for YouTube, I don't like taking stuff in and then not paying people. But while we're getting back on our feet, we're going to be accepting contributors to do different things. Even if someone has an awesome video essay or something, or a one-off, or even if you're doing your own content, but maybe you want to put a piece up that fits somewhere, just reach out to me. Any and all ideas, as long as you are working on the content, and it's not a project where it's like, oh, I got this idea, but I need you to dedicate like 20 hours a week to help me with it. And it's like, no, if you have a project and it fits somehow in some way, and I don't want to put any restrictions on how it would fit, but if it would fit, holler at me and let me know. Like someone, if they did their own Night of the Living Dead, yada, yada, yada. And you can have your own. It's not exclusive. You can have your own channel. You could just be starting a channel, but you wanted something that could go out, and you can even shout your own channel out at the end of it. It's not about like just give us content, give us content. But you gotta be on to something and pop it, and it actually has to make a logical fit. Good sound quality, decent, you know what I mean? Camera work. If I go live, will you come join me? No, I'm not going to come join you, buddy. I'm already doing my thing. I never watched Super Bowl, not into sports. Same here. Friday the 13th, rights lawsuits goes to court on the 13th. Nice. That's fitting. Is that real? Any Doomsday Kingdom 5 update? We're really close. I just sent a message to the artist James Milne, and I said, bro, it's funny if we could get a digital at the very least, because the volume's not releasing right away. We got to do the whole Indiegogo campaign. I'm pretty sure you guys realize that. When we announce this, there's 3 releases technically right when we announce it. There's going to be the digital, which is to just read right off the website, so that way you're keeping up with the story. The next will be issue 5, and that's the single issue of the comic. And if you already got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you can have 5 as well, for your whole collection. And then we're going to Indiegogo, and we're going to do a crowdfunding for the very first volume, containing all issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into one trade paperback. So it's one graphic novel, and it has bonuses and stuff like the cover images in the back, sketches and other stuff. I don't want to, I don't know. I don't want to say anything that's not going to make the cut or something that's going to be a surprise for later. But yeah, and I told the artist, he's in the middle of the comic, doing the art, and he hasn't read the ending yet, but I had told him how issue 5 ends, because I had this ending to me that wasn't shit blowing up and buildings falling over and, you know what I'm saying, zombies ripping guts out. But I was like, bro, to me the ending, it's hitting on a more like intrigue than like clickbait cliffhanger, and it's not just guts for the sake of that being an ending or shit blowing up. But like I said, really soon we're going to get an announcement for the release date for digital, and then following will be physical. Obviously, we take the digital sales and then we buy the physical copies, and that's how we did issue 4. Was fucking so smooth. It's not even funny, because right when we got the digital sales, we bought like 100, 200 copies of issue 4. And then as soon as orders came in, we were shipping. As soon as the orders came in, it was sweet. Some of them, I think towards the end, I missed a couple for a few days. So it took a few days to ship them out. But that was my fault. I don't know what happened. I just didn't see the notification. Glad to hear you're on board with sponsors. I think if you get some you like, things will start really going up. Yeah, like I said, I looked into the value of the channel, and it's a lot higher than I expected. So we're going to go with some sponsors, and that is just to get the stability, so that way I can see, because once I have that, I can see how many we're pumping out each week. And I would love to do one main a week. If I can set into that schedule and get rolling with that, because as it stands now is I'm still stuck in that old trap where we're doing it once a week, but there's also other videos here and there we got to cover, just to keep the algorithm going, just to keep the lights on, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, what else we got? Can you describe the difference between joining Patreon or the Matt Mob on here? Finally at a place where I can commit to one financially, just which one? Well, as far as, let me think about it. As far as the perks, it will be a little bit different, because if you join on YouTube, you do get little stickers that you can put in the chat, and those are exclusive to Matt members. Like, see how Gilligore, actually, if I go down here, can I do it? Yeah, so if I go here, I can do a Ronnie face, a Rick face, a comic Rick doing a WTF, this weird-looking baby face, this Smarts Yo, and there's a few more coming. I think I got like 3 more spots to add. There's, oh my God, I forgot. There's a couple that are going to be quotes. This was the default one when we started, but there's going to be some that are going to be quotes coming up. I was just working on a new one too, and I forget what the hell. So I just put it in the chat. Those are the emoticons that you can use. What the hell was the emojis? Oh my God. There was a saying. And no, it's not neck deep. It was another one. I don't know. So you get that, and you get personalized, not personalized, but you get 200 plus Matt Mob member only videos, which are all the entire live stream catalog, the old live stream catalog from anything that's like a month old and older is all members only. And I'm pretty sure those, as far as YouTube, is what makes it members only. And anything that I post on YouTube, that's members only. But whatever I post there, I post on Patreon, that's members only. Same thing for polls. So you would essentially be getting the emoticons, I believe. When it comes to the rewards that's added in there. I didn't know if I should do just mirror them between YouTube and Patreon, like for the credits in the back of the videos, you have to hit a certain tier on Patreon. For I think I think it's like the 10 tier. I gotta look and double check. So for stuff like that, those would be like the extra bonuses, but that doesn't exist on the Matt Mob because the Matt Mob only has one $5 tier to be a member, $5 a month. And again, I'm still open for suggestions. If you guys think I should mirror it and have the same level tiers, I don't know. I just didn't want to jump over here and do all these different tiers. And it is a bit frustrating that YouTube just did this now. This is something that, not now, but recently, this is something they should have had before Patreon. If YouTube had this membership, Patreon never would have gotten started, and now you wouldn't have to go off-site. And it's so... I get so frustrated at these big companies that are big, bad, know-it-all, and it takes another company to just, after, I don't know. It's just so annoying. Anyway, do you think AMC would ever look into doing... But yeah, let me jump back real quick. But I would absolutely appreciate the support and suggestions, too, if you're joining up. Now, one thing we're holding off, though, is anything that would take additional time to do it, that would take time away from doing the whatever. If I was doing YouTube every second of the day full time is whatever, we could probably play around with, I think some YouTubers and stuff do like personalized phone calls and other stuff that, to me, I didn't even think of. I don't know. Maybe it's I just don't have that type of ego. Like, I'm like, who the fuck's going to want to call me? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. So I think for right now, it's kept kind of loose and playful. So that way we get the flaw and awe going. We get a consistent membership. We get, not membership, viewership, tuning in. And we just keep things built so it can sustain itself. And then we can look at expanding some of them. I know we're also doing both member on YouTube and Patreon will have the member-only streams once we get settled. Do you think you ever look into doing The Walking Dead as an animated TV series or movies in a few years? Well, I'm not sure. It depends on the contract, and I know this is a bit of a stretch because you would imagine they would try to retain as much rights as they can because it's the TV universe. It's separate from the comic. But seeing as the comic kind of has more of an animated look to it, I would hope that Kirkman, if this is a thing, I mean, it would be nice to try to fight for it, would say, yes, but you can only do live action if you did do, because we eventually down the line want to do some type of animated. And I know it's different characters, but it's still kind of, that blurs the lines a little bit. That's a little too much. So, or maybe Kirkman can't even. Maybe the way he did the rights, he can't. I don't know. So, I do think it would be beneficial, but I don't think AMC should do it. I think AMC should stick with live action. I think because of the comic and how it looks visually, I truly believe Kirkman needs to do a direct adaptation of the comic, adapt it into an animated thing. So it looks like, and I don't care, take whatever example you want. Take Charlie Adler's art and have it looking like Toy Story, but not like Toy Story. Have it move like Toy Story, be 3D like Toy Story, but do like your own style, like how Coraline is that stop motion, but it has a certain style that they wanted. Take the comic style and turn it into an animated series that is a direct adaptation from the comic with added stuff, meaning in the comic, there's moments because how it's a comic, certain moments need to be trimmed. So when this character goes over here, he has to do stuff, but because of how it's set up, you only see him snip a wire and then run over here and then do this. But if it's animated and you can add a little more and flesh it out and build it up, you can see the governor in Woodbury in more scenes than we saw from the comic. You can see Michonne doing more things than we saw from whatever. But when it gets to the moments that we've been there and done that in the comic, it should be exact. And that's the gimmick. Watch the comic come to life. And I might be the only one here, but oh my God, I would have a hard on. Just if they said we were going to do that. Watching the comic come to life directly, and that's what separates it. Because if you were just going to do a different story and using the same characters, you got a TV show reboot that's animated. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. There'd be some excitement there as well. But if that's the case, if you're doing that, just give me new characters so that way we have the TV show, the comic, and a brand new, well, the whole TV universe, and a brand new character, you know, story, whatever, that's animated. Anyway, that's my opinion. Do you think the actor who played Dante deserved to stick around for a while longer? I thought he was really good. I thought he had a good enough charm to stick around for a while. It's a shame. Have you heard the positive reviews for Halloween Kills test screening? The body count is apparently over 50. Nice. That kind of sounds like there's going to be 10 people killed at once. But I'm excited because I want that to be good. I got to move this over a bit. This is a bit tiny. Trying to read this chat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to move over too much. Webcam. Yeah, let's do that. I don't have my glasses, so this chat is really small, especially on this monitor. On my screen, it's super hella tiny. All right, so I haven't heard the reviews yet, but that would be something going into it. If anyone knows round about when they're going to release that, unless it's Halloween and it's like, duh, but I kind of feel like it feels like it's been filming for long enough where it would release before Halloween, but it seems like it needs to release on Halloween. What would it take to bring you back to Fear story-wise? Well, here's the thing is, I don't know if I could even get into specifics because that would kind of clog up the stream. But simply put, if the story stops being repetitive, if they start focusing on maybe the group as a whole, but kind of go back to a similar dynamic of the earlier seasons, maybe smaller, more intimate, and incorporate into the bigger communities. But I don't know, do something where it is smaller, more intimate, and more flexible story-wise, but they still touch base with these bigger communities. Like maybe they're kind of outsiders, but whatever they're doing, they're, you know, weaving in and out. Obviously, my main thing would be wanting Morgan, or one of the main things would be wanting him to actually return. They don't have to get there, but just knowing that he wants to go back and they're trying to go back. But again, I think keeping the story intimate there, lay off with anything that's repetitive. Some of their villains and characters and dialogue, it would need a complete overhaul to bring me back. It would not be, oh, Rick is in Fear. I would probably just give up at that point as a Universe fan, to be honest, because I would just rather, okay, Rick died at the bridge for me. The trailer for Chris Rock's Saw drops tomorrow. I'll check that out. Issue 4 was really good. Thank you very much, AIC. I appreciate that. I can't wait. Well, I'm excited for 5 because we get... Oh, that's what I was talking about. I was telling the artist that it would be a great time to drop issue 5 real soon. And like I said, we're trying to get it. I don't want to say it, but like I said, it's not going to be something where, okay, it's coming out, but in 6 months. When we say it's coming out, it's like a week away. You know what I mean? So, trust me, roundabout soon. But here's the thing. No, I don't mean it is a week away. I mean, when we come out and say it's coming, it will be like a week or 2 away. So just hang in there. But now would be a perfect time because a part of the story is so damn similar to the coronavirus, or at least not the virus, but what's going on in the world, like how we're seeing across the way. And you guys know this is something that's been written years ago already. I've even hinted at this. You can go back and look at the older Doomsday Kingdom videos, but a part of it is one area in the United States, the outbreak happens, and the other states get to look at it and be like, oh man, it sucks for them, quarantining and shit like that. Damn, you whoop-de-whoop, you know what I'm saying? And then And then there's that built up fear that I don't think I've seen that I can remember in a zombie genre, where they slowly just get taken over by that fear and paranoia, knowing, it's coming for them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to say any more, because there is a bit more to it on that journey, and it's not all in issue 5, but just saying, like, that's the vibe. So we get a bigger taste of that, at least acknowledgement of that in issue 5. So again, the vibe wise would be the perfect time, and that's nowhere close to like the main meat of the story. It's just like exposition that's on the TV, and I had to include a TV scene. And this is something, if you look at Doomsday Kingdom, a lot of zombie stories start with TV, start with outbreaks, and that's movies. And even comic books, I've been noticing, they'll do speeches. I just picked one up to maybe review on my side channel, and I like that better. Side channel, better than personal channel. Personal, it's a big word. Side channel, like my side chick. This is my side channel. Anyway, so on my side channel, I was going to review that shit. And a lot of it has the same talking, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like I avoided it long enough, because the main character read some stuff on the news, but we never saw it. And we will kind of see that again later. But a part of me is thinking, I can't get around this without having them check the news. The characters have to check the news. You know, they have to. It's unrealistic that they wouldn't. So I avoided it to make it a little more refreshing and not seem the samey, as other zombie stuff. But at a certain point, they got to get updated on the news. And we're going to get a little taste of that in 5. Tiny. How much money for you to flaunt Twilight? Your reaction to the idea is the exact reason I want you to do it. I don't know, to be honest. I know I did Bone Tomahawk when we got a $100 donation come in, but I'll be honest, I did that just because someone was like, it was a whim, and they were like, here's $100, $100 donation, and I just said, fine, we're doing Bone Tomahawk. But I don't know. I mean, I'm already letting the audience vote. I would feel bad if they supporters who are supporting the channel, I just threw something in ahead of them like that. I'm not really sure. I'll tell you right now, it would have to be something close to Bone Tomahawk. I'm not doing Twilight for $50. Do you understand how many times you have to rewatch it? Now that I think about that, yeah, I was afraid to sound like a dick, but I'll be honest. I'm not doing it. You got to come out your pockets, because I have to rewatch them so many times. It's unreal, and that's not just sit down and watch it. When you're editing it, you got to go over it and through it and make sure the edit is proper. And you know what I'm saying? And when you're adding the overlays and the graphics, you got to re-listen to everything. I don't know. I would rather it be too expensive to where I don't ever do Twilight. Not yet. Best part of the Doomsday Kingdom was Tristan and Katie in the black neighborhood hanging with white people. Oh, you sick bastard. The little girl with the run sign in the window was the most iconic moment. Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I wanted that to have this, like, this twinge of uneasy, but you also get that visualization. Because when I read, I visualize it like a movie. So I was hoping others too can see that play out as a movie would unfold scene by scene, and you get that, maybe ramp up of a little slight interesting score to it, you know what I mean? So I like that scene as well too. Obviously, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have wrote it. But I appreciate that. We got a $10 love tap, nut tap from Horror Movie Hustle. What up, Ronnie? Big fan. Keep up the excellent work. Very inspiring. Inspired me to get off my ass and get a channel/podcast going. Love the streams, bro. That's what's up, Horror Movie Hustle. I hear that from time to time, and I hope it does well for you. And most importantly, you can build a nice, solid community around it and have a hell of a lot of fun with it. Because it's, I think especially the horror genre, pretty much any fandom, it's just refreshing to just, because sometimes your girlfriends and your family and your friends, sometimes in real life, it doesn't always align. I've had friends where we both liked kung fu movies, and even then, it wasn't like we always wanted to sit down and talk about them. So it's nice to be able to just touch base with people and talk about things you like. If you're talking to me, make sure you do @MakeItPath Presents. just like you see on the screen. I'm pretty sure it needs to be all one word. I'm not. Can I do it? Path. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I can do it. Oh, well, that's weird. Oh, I didn't hit enter like a dummy. Okay, so at Megapath Presents, add the spaces, and it'll turn your comment orange. Because I'm only reading super chats and people who turn their comments orange. And the reason for that isn't to be mean. The reason for that is because if you're not orange, you're likely talking with other people, or you're just throwing stuff out there to start a conversation. So that's why I do that system, for those who don't know. Do you think let's go down to the fresh comments so we're not trailing behind. Check out this new Walking Dead comic intro adaptation. Yada yada yada. Is this the old one though? Is that the old one? The live moving? It's like 10 years old now. I must have watched that 1,000 times. I agree, but if you haven't seen it yet, AMC made a little motion comic. If that's what you're talking about. Adaptation must be something else. But I forgot to tell. Hold on, let me tell Twitter I'm twittering or fucking going live. Where's my? Oh, that's not it. Yeah, and I do want to say the motion comic is not, for anyone who's curious, the motion comic was not what I'm talking about when I say animated Walking Dead. I don't know. That didn't pull up anything. Why not? Oh, check it out, bud. I agree with you totally on my question about The Walking Dead being an animated series. Starting getting chub just hearing you talk about a comic accurate adaptation. You the man. I think that would be fantastic. If you ever watched Godzilla King of the Monsters, if so, what's your thoughts? Is that the new one? I didn't see it. I should probably see it. I really like Godzilla, or at least I really like how he looks. Compared to certain adaptations of the monster, to me it just doesn't have that same look. I don't know. There's something the older, and I do understand it needs to be stream URL. It needs to be tweaked a bit because the older look of Godzilla was kind of off. Let me take that. Oh, fuck it. I'll just tweet that out and we'll put this here. Bam, bam. Share now, bitch. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah. Dwighty boy, do you miss Dwight, Morgan, and Rick on The Walking Dead as much as me? Yeah, I kind of do. With Rick leaving and Morgan and Dwight annoyingly being written out all within 6 episodes of each other, it hurt, man. Yeah, it was a pretty solid hit. And I know they're on a different show, but it's still, that's a hit. Especially if you're someone who doesn't like that show. I was going to show something. I think it was the Ellie. Did you guys see that on my Instagram? I shared this, and it's the picture of Ellie. This is the collector's edition for The Last of Us 2. Let me move my big face. Don't yell at me yet. I hope this isn't the case. Oh my God, I hope this isn't the case. But this is a leaked image. It's supposedly leaked, I guess, of a close-up of Ellie from the collector's edition. Now, these collector's editions are notorious for really good clothing, sculpt, and paint. I mean, the Days Gone has a fan-friggin-tastic bike and even a zombie on it. And even the guy has great tattoo work. Fantastic. And then right when you get to the face, I don't think it's as bad as some, because keep in mind, you're judging it on a $40 statue, not a $300 one. And Deacon's face on Days Gone is really plain. It's like 2 black dots for eyes and then some stubble for, his beard. And Ellie kind of seems like she's following suit, where the guitar will look good, the clothing and blood do look good, but the face is going to be hella plain, meaning, well, this looks like she has a wonky eye. So I'm hoping, if anything, you don't get a wonky eye, but this was like, ouch. Do I have any NECA Halloween figures? Yeah, I got the 2018 NECA Michael Myers, which I love. When it was first shown, I was like, I wasn't excited, but I knew I already had Freddy and Jason, and that was only because when it comes to horror, if I had any shelf with anything, because at the time I wasn't thinking like I'm gonna collect toys, you know what I'm saying? Because this was when I'm just finding out about NECA and all that they make, and I'm like, oh my god, Jason is the bomb. So I forget what it was, but when I first started YouTube, someone sent me a Jason in a trade, and it was like here's an extra Jason, and it was like battle damage, but it was still in the case. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I just kind of put it off to the side, and then once I got into The Walking Dead and wanted them around, and then I got Leatherface was the first, and then I was like, yo, I need them all, Leatherface, I got the Evil Dead, Freddy. By the time Michael Myers came out, I was like, it's kind of plain. It's just the jumpsuit and the head, and boy, did I underestimate that. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic they put into their sculpts and stuff, but it looks like you plucked the real guy off of the screen and just put a little miniature representation on the shelf. Just by the way the shoulders are, the way the body sits and everything, it's incredible. And it's cheap too compared to these expensive ass statues. So yes, I do have the 2018 Michael Myers. I would love to get my hands on, what else do they got? The Halloween 2, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to fuss over the old stuff that's hella expensive. I'm not here to collect them. I want them to be displayed, so I'm not going to fuss. So I think it's just Halloween 2, unless there's something new coming out, like Laurie Strode would be cool. I don't collect those big ones, though. I don't know, with the clothing, maybe I got to see it in hand, but I don't think they look as good. I like Happy Death Day when I watched it the other night. See, that looks like a fun, and I have watched parts of it. I haven't sat down to just like watch it, but that looks like a fun, just go with it type of a movie. Kind of like that's a bad example, but like a Fast and the Furious for the horror genre. And I know it's not explosions and fast, but you just have fun with how ridiculous it is. Isn't that what you do with Fast and Furious? You have fun with how ridiculous it is? Well, the original Halloween 2? Oh, okay, rocks. The New Mutants? Yeah, I don't think that's going to be all that great. Or at least the trailer to me didn't look all that great. Wait, The Last of Us 2 will have nudity and sexual content for the first time in their history of their games? Well, I don't think there was much of a reason to include it before. Let me think. Because it did a lot of games that would not have nudity in it. But when it came to Drake, I don't know if that even belonged. In my personal opinion, it didn't even belong. It would be just gratuitous, you know what I mean? If it was highly sexualized to begin with, I guess I would say just, that's part of the vibe of it. But I didn't hear them say that, no. I would imagine it's got to do with females. I'm sure they got it like a dude's ass, just to be fair. That's like the thing now. What do you think is better, a post-apocalyptic movie? I Am Legend or The Road? The Road. The Road. They both equally frustrate me, but once you read the book for I Am Legend, there's no going back. You can't appreciate the movie. And I know I'm going to piss people off when I do the I Am Legend flaw and awe. Because I fucking hate I Am Legend. I will say, I think I hate it unfairly because everyone calls it a fucking zombie movie when it's not. It drives me up a wall. Interval and AIC Comics with a $5 love tap, nut tap. Sorry I can't donate more. Don't be sorry at all. Everything helps. I appreciate any and everything. Keep up the content. Can you flaw on all Aliens in 2020? No rush. I don't know how many we can get done, but I would imagine Aliens is going to get done. And I say that because Aliens got enough votes to eventually get to relatively, within the next 6 months, I feel like. Aliens, Predator. Hold on, let me look. I got it right here. Logan is another one that will definitely get done real soon. Within the next few months, Yeah, these are all going to get done really soon. Living Dead series, Night, Dawn, Day, Land. Nolan's Batman Begins, Night, and Rises. And that's if people vote for it, because the public voted like crazy, but no members voted at all for it yet. I Am Legend's going to get done real soon within the next, 2 months. Logan, Predator franchise, Alien, and Friday the 13th. And those aren't all done because Friday the 13th alone is huge, but we're going to start them. And then we'll see where that takes us. And that's in the next 3 months to 6 months, as a gauge. I want to eat the fuck out of these Red Hots. If you go to anywhere, I found these at Walmart. Actually, my grandmother found these, and she was like, here, you like cinnamon stuff. And I ate the whole bag, And then I went to the store to replace the bag I ate, and it was sold out. So then I checked eBay, and people were asking for like $10, $15 a bag. And I was like, what are you, crazy? So I went to Walmart and bought like 4 bags. They're like $2 at Walmart, but they are banging. I shouldn't have them by my desk because I'll just eat that shit. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're gonna flaw the road as well this year, probably. I know it got a lot of requests, but it hasn't been voted for yet, I don't think. But I would be curious to see where they land, because I know a big problem I did have with I Am Legend is all the whole it's a zombie nonsense. I don't know. Maybe that just threw me off. Do you think we'll get a Days Gone 2? Absolutely, I think so. Hey, Ronnie, you going to do a flaw and off for Friday the 13th? Well, we already covered that. When's the flaw and off for The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 2 Guts coming? I enjoyed Days Gone By. If my editing goes smoothly, it'll be up tomorrow. Every Monday for The Walking Dead ones. That's the goal. Right now, it seems like it's every other Monday. Well, let me see. When did we post? It's been more than a week, right, for the other one? When did we post? Where are you, bitch? No, that's not what I wanted. But I do appreciate anyone jumping on to support to keep the flaw and all going. What the fuck am I looking at? Oh, yeah. So that was posted on January 20th. So it is... I think I was either late on that one, right? Or early. What day was that? It doesn't matter. But 20th. So that was 2 weeks ago. So right now we're at... I don't even think we would be there because I made a point to do the Cinema Sins video. In between the Flaw and All 101, we did get the death predictions. Everyone was asking for that. I'm actually shocked. No, it's at 14K views. I'm pretty shocked, actually. The Death Predictions, I know when I first released it, it got hit with not advertiser friendly, which apparently I didn't know this till recently, or I forgot or didn't pay attention. But someone told me that YouTube doesn't promote those, so that would probably explain why. Because Death Predictions are usually the bread and butter to kick us off. I usually, without even breaking a sweat, they get into the tens of thousands of views, like, without even trying. I mean, shit, I think most of my old ones get 300K, 4, 5, 800K. Yeah, that's because YouTube's just promoting it. It's getting picked up. That's kind of odd, though. I know, I didn't do it right after season whatever, but I never do. I always do it right at the beginning of a season and then the second half of a season. Anyhow, Negan Becomes a Whisperer. We did that video. We did the beta sneaks in video, and then we did a stream, 2 streams, and then we did the CinemaSins Stink. And if I didn't do CinemaSins Stinks, we would have already had 102 up. But I wanted to do it just to kind of get something off my chest that I had with some channels, and I'll do that from time to time. But it was kind of a look. Here's what's different between Flaw and Awe and CinemaSins, and when you look at the specifics, they can't be, any different. I know with, did I save it? I'm gonna see if I saved it. I cannot find. This was one I'm playing around with, so it's bare, so don't freak out. But I cannot find the sound that I had, and I was looking for a custom sound. I was looking for a custom sound for the beat, because I didn't want the ding, and I don't want to use the ding too much, because people will get used to it, and then when I use a new sound, people will be like, oh, I don't like the new sound, I want the ding back. Here's the sound. It's a axe and a wound for a flaw. That's been there since close to the beginning. I always wanted some type of blunt, harsh thud for the flaw when it comes to horror and whatever. And for the awe, it was always supposed to be something that was clean. But again, it's the blood, and so it's a clean kill. And I found the shot that I passed originally, and I was trying to come up with something that was more clean. But I think it has to be the silenced gunshot. So something like that. This is a whizzing bullet into a body, but it's not silenced. But the one I did before, it didn't have the right tweaks. So I think I'm using this one now. Where's it at? Or this is the one I'm going to end up going with right here. That might be the same one repeated, but I swear there's 2 different ones up here. And then there's, for other videos, there's this, which goes with the, you guys can't see it on this screen, but just trust me, there's a firework overlay behind the letter A instead of blood. So the horror movies were going to get that. Anything that was non-horror was going to get the fireworks for the A. However, originally it was going to be animated. You were going to have an animated little axe or a machete, and it would do the thunk on the F. And then the A would be gunshot or something smooth. But the original A was going to be in animated fireworks. So it was going to have that pop for a fireworks sound. Like I explained before, though, is my computer's not going to be able to handle the animations, because you're not just doing it once. You're doing it, fucking hundreds, 100, 150 times, sometimes 200 times. So we're going to have to wait until we do all that. But right now the gun sound for the Awe moving forward will be the shot with the pistol. But I did want to do that specifically. Wait till we do 101, do the CinemaSins Stinks, and then change the sound after that. It's kind of like a growing period, get to that and get out of that. I thought we were going to get a lot more hate from the CinemaSins Stinks, to be honest. And it's funny because I thought I was going to get so much hate. I actually hid like a backup plan within the video, a safety net, which was the critiques. If you look at older CinemaSin videos, some of the critiques and the way I did it were the same critiques he used on other people. So it's funny when the people that are CinemaSins fans, when they commented on my video, they were like, bro, take it easy. Don't take it so serious. Why are you freaking out? First off, it's playful kind of like, performance of how you're putting a video together. And then the second thing is, so they can do it. And as long as they say it's all a joke, it's fine. Don't criticize it. It's fine. You know what I mean? When we all know that there's one simple truth when it comes to them. And then I'll drop it because it's really no big deal. I prefer it because having a drastic difference between the content really makes it even better, because then fans are more likely to watch both instead of picking one over the other. But CinemaSins is it really does come down to shielding your mistakes behind it's just jokes, it's just satire. I mean, it does. There's no saying, oh man, what's a good one? In The Walking Dead, saying Negan taught his people to wear, masks and whisper among zombies. That's not funny. You know what I'm saying? It's just you got it wrong. Do you have any interest in Flaw and Awe, Kung Fu Hustle? Oh, I would love to. Kung Fu Hustle is up there on my list of top favorite movies. Like, it is shit. It's up there. It's high up there. Probably in the top 10 somewhere. Do you ever have planned to do Night on Elm Street franchise for Flaw and Awe? Yeah, that's going to get Flaw and Awed. Fuck yes. That's such a long title, though. I wish I did go with Cinema Score, because that's the score at the end of it. Yeah, dude, I didn't go with that, though, because it's CinemaSin, Cinema Score. It's too fucking close. Yeah, dude, I get it, laugh aloud. I'm just surprised you didn't immediately shut the idea down at the mention of Twilight. Gotta admit, though, would probably be an entertaining vid. Well, eventually, we're gonna get to shit I don't want to do. And I think that's, my idea for giving it up to the audience and the members to do was to give a reward that I can actually function around, but also it brings me out of my comfort zone, and it lets me get to stuff that I wasn't ready for yet. Like, I probably wouldn't do Batman Begins and yada, yada, yada right away. But since so many people are asking for it, I'm probably going to do it in the next few months. I was going to strictly stick in the horror genre, you know what I mean? But more and more people are asking stuff that is really challenging, to me, how to put them together, because you do kind of score it different. You got to pay attention to different things when it comes to it. And it's easier to stick in a genre and then come up with little gimmicks for things, like little titles and labels to kind of keep jokes going from one to the next. And not jokes like without any weight, but meaningful stuff. Like right now, one that is kind of sticking with purpose, because it's not just here's a random thing I'm going to put in every video. But in Krampus, I was like, that's creepy. And that's not an edited thing. I forget what I did, but I was sitting down and I had played something and I just said it in a full sentence along with something. And that alone just came out like so weird. It was like, that's creepy. It was so like dry and off, and it was creepy in and of itself. So I used that again for Joker. I made a audio file of just that little snippet, and that's going to end up in other stuff. But with Joker, even with Krampus, it was a positive thing. Ooh, the snowman was creepy. Ding, And then when it comes to Joker, I don't have to rewrite a whole script and explain why this scene and this way he smiles is all creepy. I just do that's creepy, and ding, there we go. Same thing moving forward. We're going to have a few, but it's going to have a meaning. It's not just going to be empty. And if it doesn't have that meaning that latches onto it, we're not going to use it. Do you hate Halloween 3? Do I hate Halloween 3? Halloween 3 is the Halloween I've never watched. I've seen enough from reviews. As far as I know, I never watched Halloween 3 growing up. Yes, I was one of those people who heard Michael Myers wasn't in it for whatever reason, and I didn't watch it. I would be interested to see how I feel, or I'm curious to see how I feel, and I'm not watching it until we do a cinema score on it, because I've saved a few like that. I'm just excited to do it, but I want to watch it again for the first time, I think, when I get into doing a cinema score. What about Cargo? I love that short story, but the movie, it just wasn't as impactful, and maybe that's because I knew how it was going to end, but I don't know, kind of, especially the ending, it felt like they tried to overdo it. It's crazy how using the word death in the title will screw a video from being promoted. Yeah, it is a bit weird, especially considering, there's other channels and other videos that it's not like they shut death down altogether. It's just certain combinations of things. And then I know in the beginning when I started noticing certain videos would just not get put out there. Some videos would hit the normal stats, and then when you do a comparative video, there's a little bit of give for every video, but it's a specific, you can actually measure it, and they give you the tools to measure it. It's like, let's say between 5,000 and 7,000. So there's that constant average. So it's not like specific numbers, and you can gauge how stuff works, and you average this. However, you could upload something, and this happened before where it was kind of off and on, where you'd upload something and instead of being in that 5 to 7, you'd be at like 1.5, and that's not normal. That's not people just saying, I'm not watching that, because all the stats are down. And then you look further in the stats and you'll see YouTube or where they promote it, there's no traffic. So if you look at the traffic stream, you can tell no one's clicking on it from that, and that's why part of your thing is down and yada, yada, yada. Well, that used to be off and on. I remember in like the end of 2017, somewhere around there, and going into 2018. And then around the end of 2018 to 2019, it was like you can actually see the stats, and they just plummet all the way down. And from that point on, it was like a crawl. But that was, a lot of YouTubers had to deal with shit like that. CinemaSins, I used to like them, but then I realized they were crap. Yeah, I mean, still, if people watch them and like them, yeah, you're going to find things you like about it, because it's not all empty. There's like a 40%, or maybe 30%, I would say, where they're actually picking out stuff that's flaws, and then, or it might even be 20%, but they really do pick things out that are real flaws. And then there's like another 20-30% that they're just getting stuff just wrong, and it's not for jokes. They just get it wrong. And then the rest of it is just jokes to continue that ongoing joke. So if people have caught on and that, they like it and they find it funny and just to watch, I ain't mad. I think it's trash, but I ain't mad if you're finding parts of it that you enjoy. Sorry, I didn't win a lottery to finance your pilot episode for Doomsday Kingdom. Let me back it up. Don't worry, I'm still working on it. I love your channel, love your work, love your parenting. Thank you very much, John. I had funny enough, a couple people reach out to say, hey, how much money would it cost to make Doomsday Kingdom? Another person, shout out to Channel of the Living Dead. Why, I fucked that up. Channel of the Living Dead. He does horror. He's working on a website. He's been watching the channel for a while now. And he had asked me to, talked about if I was interested in it. And it's funny, but I still feel like Doomsday Kingdom's just too expensive. You know what I mean? Not only that, is we're just starting to put out the comic at the pace we're doing the comic. If we really did get signed on for a show, the show would be ahead of the comic. Would people even want to read the comic at that point? Do I make two different storylines? I would rather the comic be ahead of the show, because you're going to get less readers always with a comic than viewers on a show and or movie. However, I do have this horror script called He Wore Her Face, and I think it's fucking fire. It is fire. There's a little bit of paying homage to Scream in a clever way, or at least I feel like it's a clever way. But yeah, And this is something that I'm considering putting in a horror anthology and maybe releasing that this year. And the thing is, I want to test the water because we're doing the comic and that's running great. We're going to get the channel up and running, so we're doing consistent Flaw and Awe, mainly with side things on the side. And then I did want to put out a book and see where the interest is and see how much it is, because there's a few different pieces of work that I would love to put out there, little stories, without having to do like an It novel where it's, this big, but I still have some work that would fill out a decent sized book, and see if we could put it out there. And if there's interest and if there's good stories and yada, 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 then why not? Just because I can't do comics over and over and over again, I mean, I probably could, but the chance that I would run into different artists, I can't have the same artist drawing all the different titles. The likelihood that I would run into another artist or whatever we're doing. But yeah, He Wore Her Face is one that I strongly feel has a solid premise behind it. The killer is kind of two different looks in a way, where you could go with really good merchandise for figure t-shirts, kind of like looking at Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. So you got your merchandising, which could help in a big way if you wanted to actually do an indie script for this project. Part of my Friday the 13th reboot script, which is something that I did get compliments from people working in Hollywood, and it was this sending it in for a finalist. I look back now and I think if I could polish it with my brain now and back then, and I gave it a good polish, oh man, that came into one of the low finalists back then. Shit, because I wrote that script in like 30 days, just bang, out of a bet. But I'm actually taking parts of that script and turning it into He Wore Her Face to keep that original, because it makes no sense. Why would I go through all the trouble of writing a badass Friday the 13th script just to, let it sit there or give it away or whatever? No, incorporate it into our own project, and maybe down the line we can make a movie and get that going. And that's something that I would love to be at that place where we can do that, because I want to do that project and be like, here, judge me now. Because if enough people say, okay, I had fun, I enjoyed that shit was fire, then we can do another project and actually have something that's entertaining outside of fucking Hollywood's nonsense. How fucking epic would that be to get a horror movie where you're actually creepy, where you get goosebumps and chills, and it's like you get that, you second guess, you double check the house to make sure there's no one hiding under your bed or creeping in your house, or you don't have to worry about jump scares and musical cues that are only going to annoy and frustrate you the moment after because there's no way the majority of people want more and more of that nonsense. I didn't read The Road. No, I watched the movie. I read, that was my funny bone. What's that movie I just talked about? I Am Legend. Keep up the work. Keep making your fans happy. Thank you very much, John. I'm a little late to the live stream. Watch it from the start now. Watch it all. Same, no Michael Myers, no me. You should do a Flaw and Awe for Jaws. That'll get done, I promise you. YouTube just needs to figure out their stuff. Too much automation going on, which is screwing things up. Yeah, I hear that. Thoughts on historical zombies like Nazi zombies, right? In World War I script where the Nazi put a chip in a soldier so they die, they reanimate. No, I ain't local. I'm at the other coast, Florida. Good job, Jordan. Good job. Yeah, when it comes to character zombies like Nazi zombies and shit like that, that's fine. I mean, as long as the story's cool, I would love a little Western zombie even. I mean, as long as it fits. In a Western you can do, because civilizations were separate. Towns and shit between other areas were separated and stuff. So you could do something that is, at the end of the day, you just need it enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go into Bone Tomahawk thinking, man, there was real Native Americans in a cave like that, blah, blah, blah. Did some people resort to cannibalism? Were there some people that were touched, and were there creepy, scary, messed up shit happening in the past? Sure, but it doesn't matter. I'm just watching an entertaining movie. Snappy dialogue, interesting characters, a story that you can just absorb over and over again, and that charm is lasting no matter how many times you watch it. I miss the days when the sub button actually worked. If you sub to a channel, you got notified. Yeah, that shit pisses me off. I got another notification from YouTube telling me, hey, Ronnie, just want to let you know, fucking no one taps your bell icon. Start mentioning it in videos. And they do. People on the channel do. But I guess I'm in the lower bracket where everyone just subscribed and like 3% of people hit the bell icon. So YouTube came out and they said, and I never once ever put it in the video. And I just get annoyed when I watch people and they're doing daily videos, and every fucking day it's hit the like, hit the bell, hit this, hit that, do this, tickle my balls, fuck my wife. Oh, by the way, next up, here's a sponsor, blah, blah, blah. Now let's get into the video. Fucking 7 minutes later. That's an over-exaggeration, but me as a viewer, it's not like I watch one YouTube video a day. No, I'm, especially on days where let's say today's the day to clean the house, do the laundry, cooking dinner, and all this shit. If I'm home for the majority of the day, I'm going to burn through a shitload of YouTube, seeing what's going on, any new movies, checking up on other channels, seeing other ideas, and up-and-comers. Anyone who's already solid, go fuck yourself. But up-and-comers, because I think there's a lot more passion and it's a little more raw. Anyway, so I'm devouring it. So if you got this, a number of assholes that, no offense, I'm about to be one of those assholes. You know what I'm saying? But, because I got to do it too. But if I watch 20, 30 videos that day, every fucking time, hit the bell, hit the like, hit this, comment, go Twitter and share this, and Twitter my twat or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck already. And then let's get into the sponsor. It's just enough. Anyhow, is your cursor freaking it, bro? That's so badass. Yeah, my cursor is Pennywise. Will you be playing Resident Evil 3? I'm a damn sure try. And the Predator game. Did you ever play Black Ops 1 and 2? If so, your thoughts? Oh, I loved Black Ops when it first came out. I'm pretty much 1 and 2 I pretty much loved. But outside of that, that's it. Black Ops, early Call of Duty, I was in that crowd, man. I was in that crowd with my girlfriend and my next girlfriend. We all played that shit. Fuck. I think it was Advanced Warfare roundabout. That's when I was like, nah, I'm done. Something about the charm, just they lost it. But I loved it back then. I absolutely loved it. Modern Warfare 2, was it? Or 4. It might have been 4. That was like the golden era of just playing it and enjoying it. Something about it. I was going to say, and here's another throwback was Black. Black from PlayStation 2. Another fucking epic first-person shooter that is underrated and I rarely hear anyone talk about. At the time, I found it at like a cheap rental store, and I was like, "What? I never hear anyone talk about this Black. What is this shit?" It was the most badass shit, and I played it. I let a friend play it. They let another friend play it. Everyone was playing the shit out of Black. And then there was another one when when I got out of jail, I was staying over in Edwardsville in Pennsylvania, and where did I get it? I think I got it at Blockbuster, and it was one of their like buy and a used game type deals, and I was on the reason I'm bringing that up is I was on like house arrest, so I'm gonna be there for a few weeks, and I picked up some stuff and then got my ass home, and it was called, what was it called? Fuck, not Urban Legend. Urban Riot. I'm pretty sure. Yo, I don't remember what it was, but holy shit was that fun. Let me look that up. Ouch. Fucking just broke my shit probably. Urban, what did I just say? Urban Riot. Urban Riot. Was that the PS2? Urban Chaos Riot Response. Fuck yeah, there it is, yo. This was... Is that tiny? This was the... Oh, that's tiny. Yeah, that's tiny. That's what the game case looked like. And it was just hella fun. I think there's even people playing it. But you guys could look that up. I'm pretty sure there's... Yeah, people are playing that shit. 2016, 2010. Holy hell. Here's someone's channel. Yo.
Dispatch, this is Unit 18. I am proceeding now.
Yeah.
Dispatch, this is Unit 18. I am proceeding now.
Help getting into the main building. Door over there.
Oh, I remember this shit, yo. Oh, man. Yeah, that brutal. Oh, this shit was fun for the time. I mean, for the time, that shit was fun as hell. Man. Yeah, Urban Chaos Riot Response. Oh, I love that game. That was like one of those, because how many times, anyone who's a gamer in the chat, how many times, especially before the internet, and before the internet, I feel like it's so weird to be that certain age where you grew up before the internet, but you're still young enough to be evolved in internet culture. You're not like my grandfather. He doesn't know. He'll get lost on the internet. But he was around before the internet and then after, but it's grown to a certain degree. He doesn't even get it with all the tablets and doodads and gadgets and shit like that. But being young enough to grow before the internet and then after the internet. Well, the internet was there, but you get what I'm saying. The communities and apps and features and shit like that. To be at an era where in the past, when I was a kid, when you went to the store for a video game, you had that nagging fear that you're going to waste this little bit of money you were able to save up or you got from a birthday, and the game would suck. You know, you had this drop pit in your gut that you'd get to cop the game, especially if it was new. Oh my God, it was, and that is why, and I think back then, maybe it doesn't matter now, but I'm pretty sure that's why word of mouth was fire, because when your friends were like, yo, I played Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, what was the one with the clowns in the car? Twisted Metal, and they had demo discs too, and I think that was a huge reason why the demo discs were so important, because then you got to experience it and play it, because if you didn't experience it, you go to the store, you're not going to waste your money, but as long as they gave you a little taste of what it was, you went to the store and you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy that. But Urban Chaos was one of those where it's like, yo, listen, I'm about to pay $105 a week to be on house arrest for the next like 6 months or some shit. Like, it was unreal. It was like torture. When I got pinched for a DUI and I went in front of the judge and they were like, okay, you can do 6 months in the county jail, or I think it was like a week. It was something small. Do like a week or two house arrest. I took jail. I swear to God. I asked them, I said, can I give my grandmother? Because I knew I was going. Because anyone who goes to jail or court for DUIs, you know what time of day it is. You can either pick or choose. And I'll tell you why, the reason I chose jail over house arrest, yada, yada, yada. But you get to pick. So I was like, yep, throw me in jail. So then I said, can you wait? Let me say goodbye to my grandmother. Can you wait and then put on? Because they do the whole murderer shackle deal. They don't care if you're a murderer or DUI. They do the ankle bracelets. They do the shackles around your waist. They do your wrists. Then they shackle your wrists to your wrists to your waist. So you're all chained up like a serial killer. You're looking like Hugo Solinsky out this motherfucker, you know, and all you did was get caught with a pair of keys in your hands drinking a beer. Anyway, so yeah, I went over, gave my grandmother a hug goodbye, said, all right, thanks for bringing me up. I'll see you in a bit, you know? And she left, and then they were like, okay, she's gone. They were cool about it, because I was like, can you just do it when she leaves? You know, they were like, yeah, fine. You're turning yourself in. You're not a, wanted, fucking Scarface. So she left, they shackled me up, and here's the thing, though, is I don't know if it's changed now, it's been a few years, but I knew going in, the jails are so crowded that when you're in there for a DUI and it's your first offense, but you have a background, and that's what mine was. It was a first offense, but normally you go home on your first offense. However, I was already a convicted felon at the time, and this was after I was a convicted felon. So when you have a background and you were already popped and you have a record, you go straight to jail. Like if I get popped for a DUI right now, I'm pretty sure I go straight to jail. No collecting $200. But if you don't know this, when you get popped for DUI, you can skate on that on probation. I knew this when I was there. This chick, one girl, and you could tell she was rich. You could just tell the way she looked, acted, dressed. She had 3 DUIs in one night, and you know what they did? And you know why she probably did? Because she knew it didn't matter. No matter how many DUIs you get, as long as you're not whatever yet, you can go to the court, and this is in Pennsylvania, so I don't know if it's different anywhere else or if they change this, but you can go to court, you can have your lawyer combine them, and you get sentenced on just one DUI. And as ridiculous as that sounds, and I don't know the details behind that, but I swear to God, part of that is real, because I watched this chick get 3 DUIs in one night, and I'm sitting there chained up just listening to all this shit, had nothing else to do, and they were just like, all right, yeah, go home, it is what it is. And she like crashed even too. I remember it was so crazy because the only reason that I was getting pinched is because I had like a record and she didn't. So she had 3 in one night. She just skated like, all right, see you later, motherfuckers, Anyhow, so I knew going in to county, the prisons are overcrowded the way it is, and they don't put you in the regular Luzerne County jail. They actually put you in the work release building. And chances are I'm going to know some people in there because I fucking know everyone at that time or in and around that area. Knew everyone. And sure enough, as soon as I walked in, Tommy from next door, he was like, bro, I got the rollies, rolled up cigarettes. In work release, you can do your own laundry. It is like a chicken coop. So you go in and you got all your laundry to the right, and then you got some showers and shit. And then straight ahead is like a chicken coop of bunk beds, and it's all one big room. And then it's just a bunch of bunk beds in there. Nothing special, just metal, little thin ass, terrible mattresses, these little skinny pillows, and really shitty shit. And that's it. I think like the observatory or whatever to the left. But here's the gimmick. House arrest, or here's the cincher. House arrest is $105. The guy who looks over you is a dick, and I mean a dick. I'm sure there had to have been some kind of like this dude was taking advantage of women and all that. I know there was some shit going on the side just by the attitude and the vibe. This is the type of dude who was like straight up like, yo, listen, you do me a favor, I do you a favor. With females though, not guys, because for guys he was an ass. I remember he set it up so I only had like a half an hour or 15 minutes to walk to work. And I had to borrow a bicycle because I was like 45-minute walk away from where I found a job. And my parole officer, she was smoking too. She comes to the house and she was like, all right, where do you work? And then she's looking at the paper. She's like, what the fuck? This guy's only giving you 15 minutes to get there. And I was like, yo, let me tell you, it's hell. I'm dripping in sweat. I get there and I'm like chugging water. And she's like, nah, listen. So she gave me the proper time, but they'll treat you like an animal, and they get off on it too, some of these people. Anyway, so you don't go to the county jail, you go to work release building, which, like I said, county jail is fucking motherfucking torture. I mean, kill me now. Holy fuck, send me to state. It is literally brick walls in the absolute most boring atmosphere where you can go nowhere. There's 2 tiers, so you got an upstairs and downstairs. There's the hot water where you can go and make your soups and tea and coffee, whatever. And that's fucking it. You know, I know when I got popped for my drug charge, I went in for 23-hour lockdown for the first week. Oh my God. And I didn't have a cellie or nothing. I guess someone slapped a guard or some shit like that. As soon as I'm walking in, the block is on fire. Shit thrown, not on real fire, but shit's getting thrown. And they call my cellie Pepe Le Pew because he never cleaned. And he had just, I think he was the one who slapped a guard because he was literally on the way out and I'm on the way in. The one CO or something, the white shirt, was asking, they're like the top guys. He's like asking me some shit. I'm like, I just walked in the door. I have no idea what you're saying. And then the other CO was like, no, not that white boy, the other white boy. And so Pepe Le Pew left and my cell fucking stunk. My God. Somebody walked over. They peeked their head in. They were like, hey, white boy, that sucks. Because he knew it stunk. They told me when I got in there, they told me that homeboy never washed up. They made fun of him and all that. And it was rank. So, long story short, why I pick jail at the time over house arrest is because it's $105 a week. You got to do the time. They treat you like a fucking dog. I mean, threatening you, cursing at you. They try to get you to swing on them, and they try hard. I mean, you'll go out with your girlfriend. He'll say the nastiest raunchy shit. Girlfriend, wife. What are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? You're a parolee, a convicted felon. What? You could go whine and cry to someone who's gonna listen. People whine and cried about a judge named Chivarella, another one named Conahan. People were like, yo, this shit ain't right. No one listened. Because everyone who was whining about it were criminals, you know. And sure enough, when someone finally listened, they got pinched for kickbacks and shit. You know, it's like, oh, we knew that years before they got popped. But no one listened to anybody. Anyway, yeah, let me finish up my story. You guys are probably like, Ronnie, shut the fuck up. The way the system worked at the time, you go to work release building, much more space, or compared to fucking 5x6 jail or whatever it is. And if you behave for 3 days, they will automatically parole you. And that's the key factor going in. As long as I don't run into someone I have beef with from the neighborhood, as long as I behave, keep my mouth shut, go in and be a good little boy for 3 days, bro. 72 hours. You go in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get out on Monday. You know, I'm pretty sure that, and it's a weekend thing. I'm almost positive. It could be during the week, but I'm almost positive. So for my DUI, I went in. I was good. Tommy, as soon as I walked in there, it might have been Tommy. I forget now. It's been years. He had a rollies. That's the first thing I remember going in. And then I don't even remember much after that other than eating, sleeping, do a few push-ups, playing chess, 10 or around there amount of people I knew in there just from the neighborhood or wherever, and just hung out, you know, and it was just fucking awesome. I mean, compared to what the punishment could have been, it was fucking sweet. In 72 hours, you know, I woke up Monday morning, gave a good stretch, and I was like, let's get it, you know, because I didn't get yelled at once. I don't think a CO even need to raise his whatever. I was paroled, and then you're good. And then on parole, you got whatever it is, 6 months. Just don't get into any shit. If you get into shit, you got to go and do your tail. So if you're parole for your DUI 6 months and, you know, you're on the street after your little 3 days in the county, and then in 2 months you fuck up, well, you're going to do that 6 months. I mean, you might get a judge that'll just let you finish your tail, and then you'll only do the last 2 months, the last month, but just prepare to do the rest because they could just recharge you. I'm almost positive. Parole recharges you and probation, one of it, wow. I'm actually impressed. It's been so long since I got in trouble, I forgot the rules. One of them recharges you, and another one resentences you. I think, not recharges, whatever. But look it up if you're interested or if you need to know shit like that. Because the difference between parole and probation, one of them will, I forget, there was a little saying too. One of them, I think, is it probation? You restart your probation, and then parole, you just finish it out. I'm pretty sure I screwed that up. When the main show ends, how would you like them to wrap up Negan's storyline? Well, let's say it a little more directly, I feel. How they end Negan's storyline. How would they end his? To be honest, maybe give him another Lucille. Because I kind of feel like, even though it's heading down a path that we should see coming with the redemption arc, I don't think a lot of fans think about it. I never seen a single comment guessing or wanting or expecting Negan to actually fall in love with another Lucille, like his post-apocalyptic Lucille. And I think the way his storyline is set up, it might be fitting to do that. Because you can't have everyone die. You can't have everyone in negative. You gotta sprinkle around, and I think it would be kind of... and leave him with that reminder that maybe he feels like he doesn't deserve this because the people that he's killed and messed over, they didn't get that, I don't know. Anyway, there was a guy in court for weed possession, and he took out a joint and lit it in front of the judge and the courtroom full of people. Laugh out loud. It's on Inside Edition YouTube channel. I believe it. I'll check it out. Derek Patterson with $1 dono. Thank you very much, homie. When I first seen I Am Legend, I thought those monsters were zombies, just maybe different hybrid. No, I Am Legend are zombies. I mean, they're vampires. They're not zombies. No matter what anyone says, I Am Legend are vampires. They are smart. They set traps. They burn in the fucking sun. I'm not yelling at you, Richard. I'm just saying. Because I know some people are ride or die. The only reason they said they were zombies is so they can capitalize on the fan base instead of saying it's vampires and having only vampire fans show up or the majority of vampire fans show up. They said it was just a creature. So that way they can say zombie, they can say vampire, they can say this, potato, mutant, monster, bad CGI. I'm going to film a low-budget pilot and get a literary agent to be my pimp for networks like AMC and Netflix or Shudder. Do what you got to do, John H. Do what you got to do. When the main show... All right, read that one. My villain for another script is cowboy-like, all country and smug and cool. Do what you got to do, but be forewarned. We already got a cowboy villain in Doomsday Kingdom. I don't know if that matters, but he's on page 1 of issue 2. Was telling you my YBs. Thank you very much, though. Appreciate that. You gonna do Flaws and Alls for Shaun of the Dead? Probably, most likely. Can't wait to read Doomsday Kingdom. Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you. I'm digging the new Mulan. It's badass and isn't in your face. I'll probably eventually check it out, but if it's just by myself, I'm in no desire to watch that. Watch the Korean movie Parasite. That's on my list. I think it should just be like releasing now, I think. But that's on my list to get. Black needs to be remade proper. Yes, it does. I'm sorry. Interval and AIC Comics with a $2 love tap, nut tap. Keep up the awesome streams. Gotta go. Thank you very much. If you're not here anymore, I do appreciate your support. What else we got here? Thank you very much for that. Slizzle 2290 with a $2 love tap nut tap. Will you do a top 10 piece of shit in The Walking Dead / Jared? I'm not sure. Obviously, we're going to be working or focusing on Flaws and Alls, and while I do Flaws and Alls for The Walking Dead, clearly I'm going to be able to put together lists, and I already thought about this, like when I'm done with season 1, I'm going to be able to, and I think this is the best way to do it, I'm already consuming the material. When I get done with season 1, I can do best zombies from season 1, best moments, best quotes, whatever you guys think would be the best of the best to do the lists. And in between doing season 2 Flaws and Aws, to give some filler content with value, I can upload the list videos, since they're not nowhere near as complicated as Flaws and Aws. And I already thought about this so that way we can, bulk out the content and really saturate it in the genre and really cover it all. And then that way, I don't know why I keep doing this, and then that way, since it's all fresh, we do it per season. And then once we get to the end, I'd imagine it would have to be to the end of it, or close enough to. Then we can do the series so far. Best zombies, best moments, best pieces of shit. You know what I mean? New Saw movie. Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't really look into it. Is it a completely different, remake, reboot? Keep the story going. Keep the story going. Aaron P. with a $3 love tap. Nut tap. Don't ever go to jail. Great streams as always. Yeah, that's the end of that's the main point of my story. Don't ever go to jail. It's pointless and stupid. It's a waste of time, to be honest. On Instagram, if you guys, I showed a binder, and then the 2 pieces of paper was one when I got raided. They found nunchucks, and they put that on because when they take stuff from your house, they got to do an inventory sheet, and they leave the inventory sheet. They just leave it in the house. They give you a copy, but they also just leave it in the house. And then, so they did an inventory sheet. They took sandwich bags, were literally sandwich bags, but I guess since I had some weed in an actual sandwich bag, they took all my sandwich bags, which that's not what I use to put weed in. I use a little baggie, so I don't know what the fuck they were doing. Anyway, so they take all the stuff, cell phone, money in your pocket and all that. And on the bottom of the list, it was 2 pairs of nunchucks. That's funny. Anyhow, so I held up a binder, and that binder is legit. All my paperwork from, multiple different arrests for anything from driving to DUI. Well, obviously DUIs. I think fucking everything, to be honest. I'm trying to think, but it's this thick. Some of it is because certain cases will have that much worth of paperwork with them. I was watching, but yeah, that's all just wasted time. My dad was security guard before we moved to PA, in a hospital before I was born, and a crackhead came and stabbed him. He was fine though, but yeah, so random. I had a junkie stab me in the knuckle. I'm pretty sure I stole the scar. He asked me for a blunt, not a cigarette. Not, you got any money, not this and that. He was like, yo, you got a blunt? And now on the street, yeah, or at least in our neighborhood, that wasn't a loose blunt to roll something. It's not like a backwood or Dutch, or what the fuck? What was the other one we used to use all the time? The Phillies. I hated the Phillies, to be honest. They were so fucking popular. I thought they were too plasticky. I went with the Dutches. Anyhow, when someone was like, yo, you got a blunt? It's a full blunt. You want to smoke a blunt? Whoop-de-whoop. It has, it's fully loaded. You gut it and put the weed in, roll it up, done. And to hear that, I was taken off. I was like, what? Because you hear cigarettes all the time. If you're walking around certain parts of where I'm from, Wilkes-Barre, you don't even got to be smoking a cigarette. You can look like you don't even smoke, and you will constantly, or at least back then, constantly, yo, you got a cigarette? You got some money? I can get a cigarette. And he had said a blunt, and I remember I turned around and he got me right in the knuckle with a little tiny knife. I was like, fuck you. So we had tussled, and then I went to the bar and I sat down, and bar lady gave me a little rag. I was talking to my friend. I was like, this is going to sound weird, but I shit you not. Some random dude just stabbed me in the knuckle. He had originally hit me twice in my side, though. He was like, I had this, it was this army, black with, I don't know how else, diamond shapes in it, that type. And it was 2 little punches, but at the time it was weird because it was I don't know how else to do it. It's if you get a poke on your nerve. It was that kind of. But he didn't actually stab me in my side. It just hit me in my knuckle. Aaron P. Don't ever go to. Okay, we got that. I was watching reaction. Calling the baseball bat. Nunchucks. What up? When is the DDK volume coming out? Haven't read any yet. We're going to be doing an announcement real soon. We're gearing up towards it to be doing everything. Just hang in there. Probably in the middle of February, I would imagine. Sometime in February, we're making an announcement. Are YouTube taxes really as hard as they make it seem? Yes, they fucking are. It's my first year, and I hear you have to pay 15% of your revenue back. Listen, I would put more than that away. I would put, because state taxes is something that's going to differ between your state, but trust me, put more of that away. Put 30% of anything you make. If you're making a living off YouTube, just to be safe and cover your ass, put 30% away. Because I know when I filed, it was fucking unreal. And do proper deductions. If you're doing stuff that legit is for, like, this office, because the only thing I do in this office is 100% for YouTube and my work as well. Any type of work stuff is done in this office. YouTube, the comic, anything that's work related. So what you do is you actually measure the office. I forget how the exacts, but you measure the office and then you do some kind of math with how many square feet in your whole apartment or house or whatever it is. And there's a deduction for that. So keep in mind, there's certain deductions, but you must do the deductions. I remember when I moved in like 2017 or something, I lost my receipts for like January to like May, and it fucking ruined me. It didn't ruin me, but I paid the government like $8,000 that I didn't need to, and that was like the 1 year I actually did good on YouTube. I had like 4 or 5 videos go viral, and it might be 2016 or 2017, the only good year I had on YouTube, and I mean solid, like could do it full time. And I remember I paid like $8 extra that I shouldn't have paid, because I think I bought a whole brand new computer that was like $1,500 with all the extra stuff you put into it. I probably spent like $2,000 on that alone. I'm pretty sure that was one of the receipts. But I would put more away than 15. And I'm not kidding. When you're paying the taxes for YouTube, it's not just, for some reason, it's not just when you, and I don't want to give wrong information, but when you go to work and you're taking out a percentage, there is a self-employed addition that's on that. And there's also something with you not paying ahead of time. I know I got advised to pay quarterly, and I would advise anyone else, when you do your taxes as a YouTuber or as a business, do it quarterly. And it fucking sucks. I have my own issues with getting things done on time and yada yada yada, paying a late fee here and there, but just try, because they're fucking awful. It is unreal. Been playing Evil Dead Within, loving it so far. I bought part 2 on sale for $20. I hear even better. I'm pretty sure my brother has part 1, or I have part 1 and he has part 2. I was a Dutch man myself. How did you roll your Dutch? Split down the middle or unwrap the leaf? I never unwrapped. I split it and spell it. I don't unwrap that bitch. Fuck out of here. I did know people from Philly that unwrapped it, but I never did. Philly and Jamaicans. I think those were the only 2 I knew from the neighborhood that would unwrap it. Most people split it and emptied the guts. You can't say weed anymore on YouTube. Gonna clap your cheeks. They might. What's my thoughts on Walking Dead? I'm afraid it's going to be too much. I am afraid it'll be too much. If Maggie is to be at the end of the season, why was she in the trailers? Seems it would be pretty good publicity. Well, here's the problem, is because 2 reasons. One, well, I'm speculating. Let me say this. I am guessing, I want to cover my butt. I am guessing it's because Maggie is in such a small part. Even if it was in the trailer, it would be a spoiler. Plus, if she's only in, as an example, 1 part, they're not going to put that in the trailer. but likely when we get closer to it, they may put a little thing of her in the trailer. And the second thing is, like I said, where it's at, putting her in there would spoil too much right now. They got to wait until we get closer or save it. I think they should save it. PA has the best winners, but harsh. Yeah, PA winners are harsh as fuck. They look great, though. I love the PA fall. I think if I was a millionaire, I would probably, well, I don't know. There's probably better areas. But if I was wealthy, I'd go to Pennsylvania for the fall every year because it's amazing. The colors on the trees are insane. And the air and the smell in the air. When I went back up for a family member's wedding, it was like, oh my God, I wanted all the windows open at all times. It was just, it felt fresh and clean and, compared down here, I get like I don't know, like this allergy kind of, I don't like it down here. I don't do well down here. Well, a reboot isn't a remake. A reboot is rebooting a franchise. A remake is remaking it. I'll be honest, man, Hammer. I don't play that bullshit. Reboot, remake. Who the fuck cares? That's on my own personal thing because you're redoing this shit. Because rebooting and remaking, it's kind of like splitting hairs because you're remaking something, but rebooting implies you're getting the franchise off the ground to continue more than just once. A remake would be like a one shot. But here's the thing is, when I use it in talking, I use it interchangeably. And I get it. It should be separated for one or the other. But I guess probably why my brain doesn't care is because if it bombs, it's not a reboot. It's now a remake because they're not making anymore. But if it does super well, even if it's a remake, it's now a reboot. Like the Halloween doing the sequel. It's kind of like a remake, reboot, all in one, Because they didn't come out and say we're doing Halloween and more. They didn't do that at all. They knew they were going to keep quiet and see if it was successful. And if it was successful, they were going to jump on it. And if not, then they got it all wrapped up. So what do you do in that case when it comes to situations like that? Which word do you use? Example, Child's Play 2019 equals remake. Halloween 28 was a reboot sequel. Yeah, again, I still stick with... I just find it to be splitting hairs. I mean, we know what it means though. You're just doing it over. They held my AdSense account on this channel and money because someone in my household clicked on a couple of my ads, wouldn't overturn it. Oh, yo, that's one thing. Don't ever, ever, ever click on your ads. I don't care if it's once or an accident. And if there's anyone in your households, tell them just chill, don't, because they don't play with that. You know what I'm saying? And they know there's a massive, there's a massive way to figure that out just based on the likelihood. I think in 5 years, I think I clicked on one of my ads and that was legit. I didn't think about it. I saw a commercial for something. I was like, they're making another one of these. And I clicked immediately. So like in 5 years, I clicked on one of my ads once, like straight up, no bullshit, once. So when they see a channel, and even if it's like 5 times, that's going to be a red flag. The system immediately will pick that up and be like, boom, So yeah, don't ever mess with your ad stuff. Well, now, but I hope they overturn that. But if it's only that one time and you had an explanation, hopefully they'll overturn that. Yeah, any last questions to wrap this up? I can't go much longer. I do gotta tweak a few things on the Flaws in Oz 102 and then get going. Off to bed and then wake up early and get started on it. Saw isn't a remake or a reboot. For some reason, I was thinking it was new. It was starting it over again or doing a whole new story or something. But if it's a continuation of the story, I'm confused now. Didn't they already do a Saw? I'm lost. The organ donor could refer to the killer killing his victims with John Cream. Saw was, and I got to give it credit. Saw 1 was one of those rare movies where at the time we were living in an apartment complex. I was living on a second floor in a nice 1-bedroom, and my brother was on the first floor across the way, and my mother was on that side too. So we all were living there in different apartments. And I remember watching it late at night. Like, I mean, it was late. I was drinking with some friends or something, and everyone went home, and to go to bed at like 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning, I put in Saw, and I couldn't fall asleep. I was I was like hooked. And I remember jumping out the house at like 7:30 in the morning. I made breakfast after. I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. I went next door and I gave my brother the disc, and I was like, bro, you need to watch this shit. And later that night when he got home, he watched that, and he was like, yo, that shit is tight. That was one of those rare movies where it got me to just like, yo, watch this, you need to watch that. Shit's hot. The rest of them, I'll be honest, I like them. I'm well aware that they get over the top, cheesy, suspension of disbelief is a little overwhelming at times. But the Saw franchise is, in my opinion, another Fast and Furious type. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. For the horror fan, that's fun. Same thing with Fast and Furious. I see some of their commercials, like the newest trailer. And I honestly thought for the first time ever when it comes to Fast and Furious, I just don't care about cars. They go fast, woo. I don't care. Unless I own it, I don't care. But this one looked so just crazy, wild, popcorn fun. I was thinking I might actually go see this Fast and Furious. And if I like it, who knows? I can go back and watch some others and have fun with them. As long as it's just, go to just, I don't know. Saw was demented stuff. Ronnie, why you hate CinemaSins? Well, let's see. I think it would be fair to say, I think there's 2 types. I think there's gunning for someone hate. Like, I'm not doing multiple videos. I did one. Maybe in the future I'll do one more, but I doubt it because I said my piece. I did save some room to do like a rebuttal. Like if everyone turned on me, I was going to be like, funny you did that because, and then explain that the criticisms are literally the same ones they use. So you can't say, Ronnie, you're being too mean. Well, then so are they. Jeremy literally, like the one I said something, I was like, we're not a pussy or something. Jeremy literally did that in one of his CinemaSins, I don't know, narrative work. So you can't say like, Ronnie, you're a bad person for doing that because he did it to someone else's work. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not gunning for them, but if you do say, hey, do you like CinemaSins or hate CinemaSins? Nothing personal against the people, but the content in and of itself, I hate it. It's garbage. It's trash. When you break it down, it's legit mistakes. And if they came out and said, all right, fine, we made mistakes, they're there, whatever, because we're having fun with it. And maybe if they did do that, I'd be like, that's not nowhere near as bad as trying to play it off like, oh, that's not a mistake. We said that wrong to be funny, and it's like, no, you didn't. 98% of people do not know you're wrong because if you peep it quick, like for example, what's one I just seen recently? Ghost in a Shell. The cartoon has this machine that helps the person rise to the surface of the water because she's too heavy. And he had said something about how is she so heavy and she'll drown or some shit like that. Some random dumb shit like that. But they didn't even peep like the thing rising up. Most people aren't going to watch that and go, oh my God, he's so funny. He didn't mention the whatever it's called. Ghost in a Shell is a bad example because I don't watch that, so I have no idea what the fuck that is. Anyway, there are 8 Saw movies. Yeah, the Saw movies are a bit a bit much and a bit long. Yeah, I think Up Next was another one that I was this close to doing a video on, but I just don't have the time. I gotta do other shit. But they're another one that they'll Photoshop the thumbnails, and it's a complete lie. And then inside the video, before they were like, oh, we're here for news, Marvel news and trending news, entertainment news. And then someone called them out on their shit. You guys told me about this channel. It was, fuck, man, I don't know. Like J something or other. Just look up CinemaSin Sins or some shit like that. And he's been doing those for years. I was like overwhelmed. He has so many of them. And I'm like, damn. But I watched some. And funny kid too. So check him out if you want. But recently he put up a video about this Up Next channel. And they were kind of like going at him because he called them out. So I scrolled through their videos and I noticed early on they came out and they were like, yeah, we're here for news and leaks and all this like official shit. And then once he called them out, they went back and changed their shit to, oh, we're here for fun, off the top predictions and theories and shit like that. And it's like, no, just be honest. You're here to make videos that are clickbait crazy. Even lying to Photoshop thumbnails just to get people to click on them, and then they forget why they even clicked on the damn thing to begin with. Most of them do. Yeah, but we're going to wrap this up. Oh, I'm going to check on that. I thought, hey, Ronnie, what music have you been into lately? Nothing, bro. I don't think I've listened. Actually, I did listen to one song that was actually on fire. It's XXX something Tashion. I don't know. It's called Revenge. That shit was actually pretty good. Or at least the sound, the vibe for it. It was pretty good. I like that. As we close out, though, I do want to circle back around to one of the main purposes of discussion. No, one of the main things I wanted to get out of this. Once we close out the stream, if you guys want to comment and leave some thoughts and opinions on how do you feel about keeping the Walking Dead Sunday. Normally, when the episode is on, we do that. But keeping it in the horror genre, because I would like to maybe kind of break down what's up and coming and stay a little more focused with that. Now, previously, I didn't really worry about it so much because the Flaws and Awes were originally going to be only in the horror genre. But it seems like the community wants to just do as many, as we can in any genre, which is cool. I don't know who Slash and Cast is. I just looked them up. And I think this is what's crazy about YouTube being so big is I seen a channel called Drum Dums. We watched a movie, and I subscribe. Fellow horror guys, I do a subscribe, and I think like Drum Dum might be a smaller channel too, like 10,000 subs or something like that. Or maybe I got it wrong. He might have 30. I don't know, somewhere around there. So help out the fellow horror fans. And you know what YouTube does? And this does fucking piss me off. I'll subscribe to them. And when I'm in the side of the screen where it's searching, I'm browsing, YouTube is supposed to give me content, new content, let me know something that I'm going to want to watch. You know what they fucking do? They show me videos from people I'm already subscribed to. Why would you do that? Old videos too, not just new. They'll do new ones too, but it'll be old videos. It'll like oh man, Drum Dums horror. Okay, let me check that out once in a while. See some good stuff. We watched a movie. Okay, whoop-de-whoop. A lot of different horror people like that, right? And then YouTube will just nonstop. Here's their videos over and over, and it's like YouTube. I already subscribed. When I want to go back and watch their back catalog, I'll get to it. And then when they do new videos, they put them up in the browsing section, and then you might as well, you're already there, so you click on it. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I think that's one thing that is crushing YouTube. When you subscribe to a channel, they should put it on your feed no matter what, 100%. Bell or no bell, they put it on your subscription feed. And then when the browse feature should be 10% okay. People you've already subscribed to, once in a while, they'll give you something. And it should be 90% everything else. I'm not even subscribed, and I barely watch the quartering, and they won't leave me alone when it comes to pumping his shit at my face. It is nonstop. And maybe they're not promoting his videos. Maybe. But I get frustrated because they jam it down my throat like they're violating me. You know what I mean? And then I watch his video, and it's all, hit the bell, hit this, all that annoying shit that I got to start doing. And then it's, oh, and please have mercy on me. YouTube's not sharing my videos. It's like, well, maybe not to anyone else, but they're sure as fuck jamming it down my throat. Oh, let me browse YouTube. Oh, the quartering. All right, fine. Let me watch this. Hey, guys, YouTube's not sharing my videos. I'm like, oh. You're either lying or I'm the only one they're sharing it with. But yeah, the main thing is the browse feature is shot on YouTube. It's fucking shot. Ronnie, have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, we got to shut this down. We're at the 2-hour mark, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, we're past the 2-hour mark. Let's shut her down. The film Upgrade is really good. It's a sci-fi. I already watched that. I thought that was okay. I think the ending was just a little nah for me, but so it's highlighted. Yeah, you got to hit at Megapath Presents. Anita Bong hit. At Megapath Presents so I can see that you're talking to me. I'll try to find if I don't find it, I'm going to have to continue. Hey, Ronnie, what music have you been into lately? Yeah, that was the only new song. Anything else is just Tupac. Any sort of disagreement or criticism is all just hate to a lot of people. It could be, but I think if you watch my video, plus taken into consideration my video, the great irony is I'm literally saying everything they've already said about other people's work. So you can actually go, Ronnie, you're bad for doing this, or I hate you for doing this. There was a few comments like that, but you can't, because then you're a hypocrite, because it's okay for them to do it. But if someone else did it to them, it's like, oh, don't do that. What are you doing? Did you hear a TMNT reboot? Didn't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the writers are quite placing or writing it. Oh, quiet place of writing it. Oh, I didn't hear anything about that. I'll have to look it up. Vin Diesel is just a horror. Yeah, he's a bad actor. I can't sit through Fast and Furious. Plus, The Rock is also in titles as a box of hair, as entertaining as a box of hair. I like him in some stuff. Oh, I get it, Tony. I get it. You can watch whatever you want. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that you still think I'm good and cool and awesome and rad and fly as fuck for not liking CinemaSins. Yeah, Nightcrawler was good. Hey, Ronnie, let's have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Do you want a Joker sequel? Yes, I do. Also, you should give ideas you have for Sewell? Do you mean for the sequel? I don't know yet. I would have to really think about it, because the main thing would be, does it have Batman in it or not? And if it didn't, then let's save Batman for the third Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. And let's shake things up a bit. And let's move ahead a few years. Well, I don't know. Because I was thinking this Joker might be real good for, an actual, Harley Quinn and not Margot Robbie. I get it. She's hot and she looks great as a Harley Quinn, but it's just too ridiculous out. It's just too ridiculous, And I get it. It's like the comic character, but it's just too ridiculous. So I don't know. I would have to bat those different ideas in my head and see which one would fit, and would it really fit, and what would be a better fit. Now, I haven't given it any thought, to be honest. And the theme, what is it saying? I'd have to think about that. Bro, I just went back and watched one of Ronnie's old dumpster diving vids, and he even sounds different. I have to. There's no way I don't, because I've been living outside of Wilkes-Barre for fucking like 7 years now. So there's no way I don't sound at least a little bit different, because you got different like they say use a lot, you know, which from time to time I'll say as well. I think use is so easy. I don't know what it replaces or what other word you use instead, but you know, like where you's going, you know, what you's doing, you know what I mean? It's just up there. But lately, I would imagine, or at least I hope so, it's tamed down a bit because they do have certain slang. Jeremy is a douche. Quartering ring is giant douche. I don't think he's a total. Like I don't think it's like, I personally don't feel like he's a total bad guy. Just certain things I've seen, I don't buy him on some things. I think he's just full of shit on certain things. Like especially when it comes to his movements, it's all for the benefit of the channel. It does insanely well, and it's no coincidence. It's like, oh man, look at that! I just stumbled across another thing that we need to charge at YouTube for. He knows damn well what it is. It's perfect. Puts him in the spotlight, puts him right there with YouTube, and you know he's thinking. And it is possible to, man, I can work this into some way to try to get, you know, maybe a meeting with Susan, maybe an interview with Susan. We could really help over here. You know, if he's not vying for that spot, then maybe he is a douchebag, because that's where it's lining up where he should be vying for. But again, I just my own personal vibe, and some people come off on that, as that through a camera. Maybe if I met him in person, I'd be like, you know what, he does seem a little more genuine than on camera. He just catches me as someone who's just riding a wave, you know, especially since his old content. And I found him when he had like no subscribers, and I did watch a few of his things, and I'd have to go back and double check, but it was like nothing like the content he does today. So he kind of felt like someone who's just riding a hot trend or wave. But it is what it is. That's what I mean. Jeremy is full of shit. Oh, okay. Yeah, that guy. Well, I don't think it's anything to, like, I'm not going to go investigate and put a whole video down. Thanks, Chris Stanley, for the support. He personally comes off that way from time to time, and I'm not biting my tongue just to whatever. It's not like an exposed. But yeah, I'm working on flaws and alls. I'm not going to stop and go make a, you know, exposed video. It's not worth it. It's not it's not that serious, I should say. So tired, Aaron. It was a great break for me. Thanks, Nora. That's what I mean, Jeremy. Full of shit. Are you a fan of Spider-Man Tom Holland movies? If so, would you ever want to see a Sinister Six movie? I'm a fan of him as Peter Parker, but I'll be real with you. I watched the one Spider-Man with Michael Keaton, and I haven't watched the others. How many are there? Is there just one more? The story, what they got going on, I just didn't find it interesting. We keep doing YouTube after The Walking Dead ends. Oh, 100,000%. What we do in 2020 is literally building up the new content, so you know, we can kind of break away from this because Walking Dead was like the blessing and a curse. I mean, I'm kind of an idiot. If I really think about it, I should have just, you know, pumped out Walking Dead and then went to a whole new channel and did all new content, yada yada yada. And I really should have done that, but stayed like daily Walking Dead. Doing what I did and trying to balance and juggle Walking Dead with non-Walking Dead. And then when Walking Dead was off the air, I focused more on non-Walking Dead. People are showing me now, because people are teaching me the analytics, and yeah, it really tears the channel down when you're trying to do something where you have a viewer base that's interested in a certain thing, and then you move to another thing and you see those stats and the way YouTube reads them. Man, it was damaging and deadly. And then the streams didn't help. I never should have started Sunday streams because they were probably between the streams and focusing on one, you know, sole main thing, knowing my passion was for something bigger, like the genre as a whole. Those were the two biggest things that, you know, started taking a hard hit. On top of the YouTube shit, we're pulling whatever. You know, it is what it is, though. But I know with I know with the Ronnie Hayes channel, I'm going all over the place with that. I'm not making that mistake again. Anyhow, we do have to shut it down. I really got to go. I put my foot in my mouth enough times for tonight. And I will see you guys. When will I see you? Tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest for The Walking Dead 102 Flaws and Awes. It'll either be late Monday because I know I have at least 6 more hours of editing to get done. And then we're going into 103 Flaws and Awes almost back to back because I already started doing both when I was doing the scripting. After that, we're diving into Night of the Living Dead. So if you want to find the most recent movie Flaws and Awes, and if you want to add your thoughts and opinions, your own personal flaws or awes for Night of the Living Dead, some of them might actually make it into the video. And that's a new interactive thing we're going to play around with. Originally, I thought let's tease it with the members and the Patreon supporters as like a little reward. But then I thought if it's a reward, I have to use those opinions. And if the opinion is all wild or it doesn't line up, or I think it's just too rare of an opinion because we are going for the majority. I'd be forced to use it. So we're gonna try to open this up to the everyone as a whole. So. Thoughts and opinions down in that comment box, and I fucked that up. Just go find the old Flaws and Awes, or go to The Walking Dead 101 and put your Flaws and Awes for 103 and 104, 105 and 106, or if you want, because I'm already done with 102. It's already scripted and the voice is already recorded. I just got to finish the editing. So I'm out of here. Good night. I'll see you guys. Appreciate the support. And you can find all the links down below. And yeah, we will do Halloween 2018 on Flaws and Awes. Probably this year, I would imagine. So good night.